Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I've got another update to my minimalist tool kit. One of the things I had mentioned earlier is I was going to use a small tool kit with kind of more used handy items, and that was going to be up front, and then I was going to use my larger tool roll, which now turns out, you know, this is going to be my Roaring Fire Pack Mule tool roll, but I kept thinking, is there something better? Because I'd open these up and I'd use it, and sometimes they had small parts and they would spill out. And a while ago I got this Weehaw tool roll, thinking, I wonder if I could make that work, but it's more of to hold a bunch of different wrenches or something. These really don't, they're very narrow and they're very short, so this doesn't really work for what I wanted. However, Roaring Fire to the rescue, because look at that little cutie. This is the Roaring Fire Bonfire, and this is a tiny tool roll. That's exactly what I was looking for. So there's the big one, there's the little guy. So let's take a look, because this is incredibly versatile. It's a standard tool roll, single-sided, and I've loaded it with most of the tools that I would have in my my separate dedicated pouch. It's got a zipper pocket here for maybe items you don't want to put into slots, smaller items. I'm going to put bits probably in here. This thing has 8 small insert pockets along the bottom, and then also 8 elastic loops, and then 3 other pockets here. I've got some Scotch-Brite in this one, so you can see, you know, I can go all the way down to the bottom right here. So there are these pouches that basically are the entire size. I could put sandpaper, emery paper, I always carry that. Protect it from the tools, but stay handy, as well as wire, anything like that that I want to store down in there. It's great. The pockets, there are various sizes. I put some mostly mostly take tools, but a few samples in here just to test it out. To see that intersection, by the way, I decided to go with these. If you saw my video on my minimalist toolkit for needle nose pliers, I think these are going to serve the biggest number of uses. The big thing I was worried about was the screw extraction, so guess what? These have now moved in because I think when I work, I'm also going to have a pair of Cobras, and I'm going to have some small pliers like these. So I think that actually is going to be my plier loadout. And of course, on the big end, you know, I'm going to be taking this as well, the 14-inch aluminum pipe wrench. So these are now in there. I've been working on, you know, different ways of storing the tools. Because it's a roll, it actually holds them all kinds of ways nicely. And, you know, if I wanted, I can put things up through there or down through here if they fit up this way. Kind of depends. So I'm exploring different ways of using this. This actually rolls up quite small. It's single-sided, uses that 16 ANN duct canvas like the others. Obviously, there's plenty of room if I wanted to expand it or attach other components to this. And speaking of other components, there are 2 additions here. First of all, this thing does come with a strap. I probably won't be carrying it needing a strap, but this connects up here, makes a shoulder strap if that's something that you'd want. However, the other part of this, which is kind of cool, is it comes with this. It has the appearance of a toiletry bag. It's got 3 YKK zippers along here. This becomes a fairly decent sized pouch. If I wanted, you know, speaking of that extra strap room, this piece here, slide those back in just to get them out of the way. On the other side of this cover, you might notice there's a zipper. Well, that zipper matches this zipper right here. So what I can do is just take the front end of that guy and slide it right in here. and zip this on. So now I have an additional component if I wanted to use that, maybe for spare parts or something else, or just use it as a standalone kit for whatever I want, or leave it at home. It's all up to me. But that would easily drop down in there. Let me show you that. This actually is a roll on its own because I can zip this guy up. Let me throw this inside. This is a hanging hook. Might be nice to be able to take it off. I don't know. This hook, it's a traditional kind of toiletry thing. So then I can easily roll that up into a smaller container. So I might use this for spare parts. Other than like oil, ATF, brake fluid, things like that, I just have a handful of smaller parts. I've got some various bolts and wire. I've got some hose clamps. I'm looking down in a box here. Hose clamps, few LED bulbs, things like that. That may wind up in here instead of another kind of container. But anyway, this thing all zips together, which is a pretty cool, pretty simple design. Kind of takes it one step further. Those YKK zippers make everything just so nice and fluid. So there it is. I can roll this guy up then. Makes it a little bit bigger, but it's still a tool roll. Easily adjust the straps there with these plastic buckles, and go on my way. What I've also noticed with these tool rolls is that if I loosen this stuff up, let me show you with the bigger one. If I loosen this up, I can actually smash these flatter, or I can roll them up tight, you know, into more of a log. So depending on what I'm trying to fit, I can't quite fit this under a seat, but I can certainly fit it in different spaces around the truck, depending on if narrow and tall, thick. Can even stand it up. It's almost like a little briefcase when it's this loose, you can see. So there are some options here. That's also why I don't like a lot of solid containers, unless I need the rigidity to protect something inside. I just generally want a flexible, kind of expandable and contractible choice, simply because if I took some things out, I want to be able to recover that space. I don't want to, you know, like people use milk crates and Rubbermaid tubs and things like that. And the problem is if you take something out, you still have an equal amount of volume being occupied inside your rig. So that's why I like the soft stuff. Anyway, here it is, the Roaring Fire Bonfire tool roll. Little tiny one, and this has become my choice now for the faster, more convenient tools. So this will be up front somewhere. And with that, Doc out.